questions that I got from a requested video, a viewer of mine who has actually asked for requested information before. And if you want to ask questions, go right ahead. I got to put some glasses on because I can't see down here. Um, and so I don't have any memory, okay, on my phone. None. I mean, zilch. I have been doing actually reels on Facebook and things of that nature. So I have no memory. Yes, I also have a camera, but y'all know me. I spend money and then I don't use my camera. So I think it's only four questions. My answers are not very, very, very extensive, but I wanted to answer these. I wanted to get this out for my friend Nate and just to answer the questions. I like to, hi, Dominant Man, I'm great. How are you? Um, so I'm just going to be answering four questions that they were requested, and pretty much get a little deep into them. Um, the first question was, have I ever been very, very popular? Um, it's a yes and no question. I've never been popular in my young years as I was a young girl. I was very, very shy in school, and so shy to the point that I never made eye contact with anybody. My contact was always like this. I would answer questions and I would look down because I'm gonna have to pull this hair back because I don't want it clanging or just hold it. I was extremely shy, extremely, extremely shy. And okay, and you can put it in the comments, but I'm going to tell you something, Dominant Man. If it is a question that does not go with the guidelines of YouTube, they will flag it. Okay. They will flag it. If I can answer it, I'll answer it. I can't make any promises because I don't know what the question is, but you are more than welcome to answer the question. But no, as I said, I was never very popular in my school age days. I never was. My sister, who is a year older than me, was more popular than me. She had friends. She was very outgoing. I was an introvert. She was an extrovert. Now I am an introvert, extrovert. I can be very outgoing, but I can be kind of closed in and withdrawn myself. I have absolutely, positively no problem standing on my own, living by myself, all of that. I've done all of that and actually really, really enjoyed it. But my sister was my best friend while we were in school, and all of her friends were my friends. You could find me at any time between the 11th and the 12th grade in the library reading US and World News Today or reading Time Magazine. Was I a nerd? I guess you could probably say that because I also loved history, but I was pretty outgoing once I got to know you. It was more so much that I had to get to know you. So all of my sister's friends were my friends. A an extra note that I'd like to include with that is that me and my sister, my older sister, are what they call Irish twins, which means that two siblings share the same age for a certain period of time. My older sister, her name is Tish, and I are what they call Irish twins. Her birthday is July the 22nd. Sorry. Her birthday is July the 31st. My birthday is July the 22nd. She was born 1 year before me. So once my birthday comes on July the 22nd, me and my older sister actually are the same age for 9 days. So go figure. That's what they call Irish twins. We are very close as sisters. We always have been close as sisters. There have been situations that have kind of drawn us apart, but we always come back together because, she was my first friend. Do I think that modest clothes are for a Christian woman? Absolutely. Absolutely. However, it depends, dominant man, what you deem as modest. Because I am not, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love turtlenecks and look good in them. I do like yeah. If you were to see me when I go to church, when I go out, I am very, I dress very modestly. I don't wear a lot of things that are revealing. Um, I wear things from my body type, and I'm speaking only for me. I wear things from my body type that are that compliment me. But I do believe that a Christian woman, excuse me, does have a certain modest dress that she should wear. I do agree. I also believe, and this is extra, that just because they make clothes in every woman's size for whatever particular type of clothing there is, it doesn't mean because it's in your size that you should be wearing it. There are clothes that women are wearing today that they have no business wearing at all. Hey, Annie, how are you? So, I told y'all about my popularity and all that kind of stuff, but there was kind of like an extra question that he had. I'm putting this tissue up because I wipe my nose with it, but my lips, this lip gloss, y'all know him. So he also asked about the height of my popularity, if there was ever any height of my popularity. Yes, there was, but my popularity came once I left my first husband. At that time, I was in my 30s and I was actually clubbing and I was going to the clubs and I was hanging out. I was young and I was very cute. I was. And I had my own, literally, this is no joke. I would go to this bar and no one would sit in my seat until at the bar, nobody would sit in my seat. There were certain women who would try to get to the club before me, and a couple of times they actually did. They actually did get to the seat before me, but I never in a million years. My mother used to always tell us to not ever let anybody see you sweat, not ever let anybody see you see something bothering you. So I have the ability to be offended, and you may never know, because I learned that at a very early age. So me and another friend, and she actually has passed away, used to go and we would sit and I would drink tequila sunrise. I drink no spirits now. I don't do that. To each his or her own if they desire to. I judge no one. But we would sit there cute and just be drinking, and guys would be coming by, and literally, no lie. You know the little shot glasses? I had, hold on, dominant man. I had shot glasses all in front of me from where the guys would say, "Oh, you're really pretty. I'd like to get to know you. Can I buy you a drink?" Those types of things. My mother and my sisters went to with me to the same club on my birthday, and I ended up having 20. I'm not lying, 29 shot glasses. So I just shared the drinks with my family members, but we ended up leaving like 7 of them because I couldn't drink it. I've never been an alcoholic. As far as my modest clothing, I can tell you what I wear, but showing you what I wear, the only way that I'd be able to do that is if I do like if I were to do like a haul, if I were to go shopping and then, model clothes, do like a shopping haul type of modeling thing. And trust me, I don't wear nothing that don't look good on me. It has to look good on me for me to wear it. To me, it doesn't matter if someone says that you look good in something and you don't feel good in it. So I have to feel good in it. But yeah, so even at that time when I was in the height of my popularity, there was a guy who came up to me. He's a police officer, and he says, "You know what?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "You're on the most wanted list." And I looked at him like he was stone crazy because another fact about me, I've never been to jail. 56 years old. Never been to jail. Never been in any trouble. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I've been in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I've never been arrested. So when he told me that, I looked at him like he was stone crazy. Most wanted list, you better get out of here. But my hiatus, my popularity years were in my 30s, 32 on up. Now, mind you, I was married. I had a first marriage. And I was living in Virginia with my ex husband who was in the military. He was in the Navy. I had 3 children by him, 2 boys and 1 girl. Excuse me. All of my children are grown now. I have 1 bonus baby. I always include him because he is my sweetheart as well. But I was loving my life and living my life, and couldn't nobody tell me nothing. I had given a man several years of my life, and you know what ended up happening? I ended up leaving him. And when I left him, I had to start working because when he and I were talking about having children, it was said that I would not work outside the home. We agreed to that. I do. I have 2 grandchildren. I have a Charlie and a Khalil. I have a girl and a boy. One is 6 years old and one is 4, and they are my hearts. Yes, I do. I actually got to see them when I went to Georgia this last time, and it was the best thing in the whole wide world. I probably will do a little video of just pictures, and you'll see me and my beautiful grandbabies. Oh my gosh, yeah, and they look like me. They are mine for sure. But we had decided, me and my ex-husband, that I wouldn't work and that I would take care of my children. And so my daughter was 13 years old when I left her father. And she was 13 years old. And I had to go from being a stay at home mom for many, many years back into the workplace. And what ended up happening is I got back into the workplace. I had no problems. I was living my life. I knew who I was just as I know who I am now. And I just was doing my thing, you know. I was very heartbroken, though, very, very heartbroken, because my ex-husband and I had always said we'd be married forever. We wanted to be that military family that when he retired, we would go on trips and we would travel. It didn't happen, but glory be to God, he is married to someone else. I wish them nothing but the absolute best in their life. But that was my hiatus when I was clubbing and stuff and wasn't living my life the way that I know that God had for me to live. But let me tell you something about how good God is. Even in the midst of my disobedience, even in the midst of not living for God and giving him 100% of what he has given me, my life, he still took care of me. I left Virginia on a train with 3 children. I got to Chicago. I had a friend who allowed me to stay with them as on a layover. It was like a 13-hour layover. He allowed me to stay there, me and my children, and there was no frisky, risky, nothing. It was nothing. It was just a friend. I stayed, and then he took me and my children back to the train station, and then we got back on the train and we headed to California. I remember back then that the train derailed and we were tilted in the train, and my children were, well, are we going to die? Are we going to die? My mother and my sisters were losing their mind, but God, we're here today, all of us. So we moved from Virginia to California, had a stop in Chicago. But let me tell you what happened. When I got to California, I had no job, but God already had me an apartment for me and my children, a 3-bedroom, bathroom and a half, full bathroom upstairs, half a bathroom downstairs. 2 weeks later, I purchased a car. Still, no job. Then I got a job at Kaiser Hospital. I don't know if you all are familiar with Kaiser. Kaiser is a huge entity, okay? I know they have one in California. I know that they have one in Georgia. I'm not sure where else in the world that Kaiser is located. I'm not a Kaiser patient anymore. But I ended up getting a job at Kaiser. And a lot of people were like, how did you just come down here? She must wear what? I missed it. No, I deleted your comment. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to read it. I think you said she must wear. You're going to make a list of some clothes. That if that works for you, that's wonderful. But it was just a blessing to be able to actually leave and then be able to find myself. I found a good job. People were trying to get the job, and God allowed me to get it. And it was in a I was making appointments for people when they called the hospital to make their appointments. The issue was this: I don't like call centers, and it didn't last long. But God blessed me with another job that I stayed at for 7 years. And then after I left that one, He blessed me with another one. God has taken care of me all my life. I owe all glory and honor unto Him. I lack nothing. The Bible says that we lack nothing. I lack nothing. I have my life and I have it because of God. But it was a blessing that I was able to get into Kaiser Hospital when other people couldn't. They couldn't understand how I had just gotten there and gotten that job so quickly. So those were the days, mostly when I was in my height of popularity. Back in Virginia, there was a base called Fort Eustis Army Base, and back then is when he is definitely a provider. Yes, he is. Fort Eustis Army Base is a base where the military guys that are in the Army meet on, many live on at Fort Eustis Army Base. My ex-husband was in the Navy, but we shopped at Fort Eustis Army Base. We went to the hospital at Fort Eustis Army Base. And back then is when they used to tell me that I look like Vivica Fox. Now, you may not see it. I get Vivica Fox, I get Angela Bassett, and a lot of people say her name is Bassett. I pronounce it Bassett. But for me, Angela, it's an honor to say that I look like her. I agree. It's an but I don't think that you can make anybody do anything that they won't, that they don't want to. But that's just me. I think that the woman kind of should want to wear modest clothes, specifically if she's in a relationship, whether that relationship is a married relationship or if they are just dating. Because why would a woman want another man to have view of what she has given to her significant other or spouse? That's just my take on that. So when we were living there in Virginia, like I said, they said that I looked like Vivica Fox and Angela Bissett, which Angela is, to me, I don't. She has very strong, features. Cheekbones are very strong, but they said that I looked like the Independence Day Vivica Fox. Remember when she used to have that bang and wear her hair beyond her hair? I used to wear my hair just like that. When she got her hair cut short, I also wore my hair just like that. So I accepted Vivica Fox. I don't look like Vivica Fox now because Vivica Fox has had work done on her face. This is all 56 years, baby, right here. And there has been no work done on none of this. No work done on none of this. This is all what God gave me. And until I leave this earth, this is what I'm going to have. Um, True fact, I have an older sister. Her name is Shanna Vivian. As I said at the beginning of the video, she and I are Irish twins. She and I share the same age for 9 days, but we dressed alike as if we were twins coming up. She was just my buddy. We were always buddies, and we are today. We act goofy together even today. If she has something that is troubling her, she'll come to me. Likewise, I go to her. We feed off of each other. We were born around the same time. I mean, I have pictures of when she was she was 3 and I was 2, and we were hugging each other. And when we were in kindergarten and first grade, I mean, My older sister is my life. She's my life. She's my heart. That is and was my first best friend. Um, but her name is Shanna Vivian, and my mother was going to name me Sharon Vivica. What if my mother had named me Sharon Vivica? You wouldn't have been able to tell me nothing if people was calling me Vivica Fox back then, because I could have very cutely said, "Oh, and Vivica is my middle name," you know. So I wanted to say that. But I can also tell you, Mr. Nate, who requested this video or this live, and the reason I did it as a live is because I have ran out of room on my phone again. I don't know if you all know, I am Carol Jackson on Facebook. I do reels. I do reels where I do makeup with another friend, and we actually literally do lives where we teach makeup, the application of makeup, and all of that. Um, so check that out. On Facebook, I also have a group called Let's Make Up with Carol J. That's me. Go ahead and follow me so that I can get monetized over there too. The second question was, had I ever or have I ever had a person who deceived me, or a person who I trusted and that person ended up telling or exposing something that I shared with them? I think that we all have. And that was a childhood friend of mine's that I was raised with. She actually lived down the street, and I shared with her a problem that I was having. And I was very angry when she talked to her mother about it. But when I look back on what she did, she actually saved my life. She actually saved my life. Nate asked if I forgave her. I absolutely do forgive her. I forgave her many years ago. And I just want to say, her exposing my truth or what had happened to me, my issue, gave me the power to speak on it and out against it boldly. It gave me the strength to tackle that demon, so to speak. So I just thank God that she did. She still lives in the city that we lived in when we were coming up, where we were raised. She is married with children, and we don't talk because she's very, very shy and has been all of her life. And she does not get on social media or anything of that nature. The third question was, what is something that I miss in the 90s? What is something that I miss from the 90s? There is a plethora of things, but one of the things that I really, really miss from the 90s that I can answer without hesitation, the innocence of children. I miss the innocence of children. Children are no longer children. Children are modern day, adults. They do the same things that grown people do. Children are smoking now. They're cursing now. Children, some of the things that people who were born in the era of you and I would never imagine doing, children are doing today. Some of these children have to go through much more than what it was that we have had to go through, because the world has completely and utterly changed. Hence, one of the reasons I pray for dear children every morning and night. Another thing that I missed and currently miss right now so much from the 90s is a respect for our elders. Not for me necessarily, but I mean the respect for our elders, the respect for those that are in their 70s and 80s and 90s, and how children or even the people, even in my generation, will curse around them, say and do things. That right there, that's a problem for me. Another thing that I miss from the 90s, MySpace. That was a time of popularity for me as well. But once again, that was when I was in my 30s. I miss MySpace. That was to me, that was a good social media platform. I met a lot of people back then. I met a lot of people offline back then. I met them physically. I talked to some on the phone, but I met a lot of people and developed great relationships that I have still here today with people that I met online on MySpace. The fourth question was, when this person starts their channel, when they find time, would I be a regular guest on their show? Absolutely, positively. I would love to be a guest on the person on Nate's show. Nate is a very kind person from what I can pick up and from what I know. And the one thing about me is I like good people. I am a people person. I am a lover of all people. And I kind of read people. Sometimes my reading of people is a little bit jaded because I try to see the good in everybody. And as much as I hate to say this, is some people out there and ain't no good in them. That's just the God honest truth. So I just miss the good in people, and I love people though. I really really do. One thing I do want to say to you, Nate, is you need to make time to start a channel. If you can make time to ask me these questions, you can make time to start a channel. It doesn't take but a few minutes. Then you set up and start reaching out to people that you want to interview, or people that you might see, on in passing, as they go by outside or whatever. Just do it. You have the knack to do it because you're asking questions. So you already have the knack to do it. But until you do, I'll continue to keep answering the questions, because the one thing I can definitely say about you, Nate, is that you are extremely respectable, and I appreciate that. You've never come from me out the side of your neck with anything that I felt offended by, or was disrespectful. And I greatly appreciate that. I hope I've answered your questions. I've been on the live for almost 30 minutes. So we did a pretty good long live. I had to do it live because I have no room on my camera. Once again, with doing all of these videos. Once again, before I close out, I do want to tell you all, follow me on all of my social media platforms. I am CDJAX, CD Jax on TikTok. I'm Carol Jackson on Facebook. I am Let's Make Up with Carol J on Facebook. That is a group. I am Carol's underscore creation conversations on Instagram, just as it is on here. So I thank you all so much. Annie, I thank you so much for hanging with me until it was all over. I love you all. Have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.